All right, hey guys, and welcome back to another film review. It's been a while since I did one of these. Well, I did watch a bunch of films in between, but I didn't really have the time to, analyze them and critic them, so I didn't really have a recording up. However, this is one film that I recently watched and I decided, hey, let's talk about it since Halloween just basically just ended. I'm doing this the day after Halloween, and I think you guys should be seeing this, the next year or something like that. Regardless, this film came out, I think, about 2 weeks ago or something, 3 weeks ago maybe, and yeah, October 15th. It came out on October 15th, and then I had to go and watch it. So anyway, Halloween Kills. How can I put this? So I've been a fan of Michael Myers' original Halloween. Um, and I really like the 2007 remake. The 2007 Halloween was really, really good. The 2000, then there was one more in between, the second one, which is not very good. And then there was a 2018 version, which takes place many, many years after, with the introduction of Jamie Lee Curtis as well. And they sort of, take the fight to Myers, which is something that it does not really happen in a lot of films. I mean, sure, you have in the really old movies where the doctors and the policemen and whatever try to take on Myers, but it's not like his own sister did it. So Jamie Lee Curtis is basically starring as what do you call this? Uh, Her name is something Laurie. Yeah, that of course the family name got changed to Laurie Strode, which is because she got adopted by the Strodes. However, she is still a Myers, which is what she actually is. And she is Michael's younger baby sister, which he spares in the 2007 film when he kills his entire family. So in the 2018 version, there's really some really nice moments with the music and the killing and all of that. In this Halloween Kills, there's a lot more killing, right? They really take the movie up a notch in terms of giving Michael like a really good playground to go and just kill people all out. And they set up some situations where there's this mob that tries to take him on, and he just kills everyone immediately. And I really love that particular moments of one or two. And in terms of realism, it just of course it's a Michael Myers film, it's a Halloween film. It's not supposed to be too realistic, so I think I understand that to some extent because I always viewed Michael Myers as not human. Like he is definitely either possessed in some way or perhaps in another personality, like a split personality in some way. So similar to the movie Split, I expect Michael Myers to have some form of superhuman strength inside him. And I think the 2000 film captured that in a very nice scene where the music starts to play and he just all of a sudden bumps into these kids that are walking down the street, and then he just turns to look for a victim to kill. And I feel that that's the sort of the calling he gets. The music is somewhere inside his head too, as we are hearing it, and he just gets this urge to go and show that he can, like, he becomes the killer. And he never picks on kids that are too young, and of course, this could be used to keep the movie a little cleaner, a little safer for people to watch. But also, I feel that it's because he doesn't deem them ready to be killed, because they wouldn't understand it. They wouldn't appreciate their death. However, the older people are mature enough to understand that Michael is coming for them, and it'll be a lot more terrifying. And I think that that is um, what do you call this, really drives Michael Myers to want to look for a particular victim. So, without further ado, how this particular story goes is that in 2018's ending, Michael is left in a burning house, which is basically a trap set up by Laurie Strode to lure him there and try to kill him. And they do manage to trap him, and the entire house is up in flames. However, in this movie, he actually gets saved by a bunch of firefighters who for once go and arrive in the scene at the right time to do their job. And unfortunately for them, they save Michael Myers. Now, I found the first scene not very realistic because there's this guy, like this firefighter, who's sitting down. He's kneeling down with like this fire, like this, what do you call this, water hose, and he's like blasting it at the fire, and he's like spraying Michael with it as he's approaching him with like this crowbar or something, which is in this, like you can see it here in this image here, and it doesn't make any sense because if you get hit by the water, the water hose from like the fire truck, you would literally go flying. It takes like two or three people at least to hold it down steady. and you can't really stand. You gotta kneel down when you hold that shit because it's really, really strong. And trust me, I've tried it in some kind of basic firefighting training. And it was from like some kind of fire hydrant where they plugged it in and they told us, all right, you guys gotta try to hold this and then turn the little like the knob on top of the hose head, and then you gotta hold the trigger, and then it's really powerful. It's a large kick. So I found that really funny that Michael's just walking through the water. He's just spraying it on him as he kills everyone. But from then on, I think we just see Michael actually going on a bit of a killing spree, while the movie actually has a whole other plot that goes on at the same time. And it's a little bit interesting because I have a feeling that they really try to make take the plot in a direction that is never gone before, and that is make it give it some sort of depth and more backstory. Like it's not all about the killer and the mask, because I think we know the story of Michael Myers, right? Everyone knows what Halloween is about. But I think what they try to do instead is they try to create this feeling that people are actually in fear of Michael Myers, and as a result, they form this sort of a group that goes hunting for him through Halloween, and it's led by this particular guy, Anthony Michael. I'm not sure what his character was, but the actor is Anthony Michael, and he sort of leads this mob, which is what I believe you can call the group. They're like a mob. They're like a big town that's full of people hunting for like the witch sort of thing. So they're hunting for Michael Myers, and Michael is going around town killing people as they're hunting for him, and they end up suspecting some other strange looking guy as Michael Myers, who is in the hospital, and they can't recognize him because obviously he's always wearing a mask, right? Michael Myers is always wearing the mask. So the guy in the hospital, they can't really recognize him. So they actually build up a mob to go and kill that guy in the hospital, while the real Michael is actually going around outside killing people. And so finally, the guy in the hospital actually dies because he jumps to his own death by jumping out the window because he's afraid the mob is going to get to him. And he dies. And then a police officer identifies, saying that that's not him. That's not Michael Myers. We killed someone else. It looks like the mob is being driven by fear caused by Michael, and Michael is not just killing people on the outside. He's killing people in the inside by causing this fear and panic, and driving this mob crazy. And that's pretty much what this story is about. So the mob finally does find Michael. They get to Michael when Michael is trying to kill his own um his granddaughter's daughter, his great granddaughter, right? No, sorry, his granddaughter. Yeah, Michael's trying to kill this girl is his granddaughter. His niece is her mom. So his niece actually stabs him in the back, and lures him towards the actual mob, and the mob tries to beat him up. There's one scene where the mob actually gathers to investigate some other guy, not Michael. But there is, I don't think we have a scene here of the mob actually grouping around Michael. But it's a pretty awesome scene because Michael actually survives the mob attack and actually retaliates and kills a lot of people as a result. And the story goes on where Michael actually goes back to the house that he started at. And I think it feels kind of repetitive in that particular sense, where the police by now should know that Michael Myers is attracted to his house. There's like books on him written by his doctor. That's literally like so many criminal profiles under him because, he's killed people not once, not twice. So I'm pretty sure people would have studied about him, and they know that the town is known for Michael Myers. That I'm really surprised that people don't know that he would obviously just be making his way to his own house and killing whoever is in his path. So yeah, that one feels kind of off a little bit, but they didn't really have a very intelligent investigator sort of role in this film. Like they never really threw that in because I think it'll be too much for Michael to handle because you already have this mob after him. But what they did do is they did nullify Jamie Lee Curtis by having her injured from the last film. So Laurie Strode did not participate for this movie much. She was basically a narrator who narrates from the hospital ward that she's admitted in, and she's basically just screaming things left and right. And the one that does most of the work is her daughter, who is Michael's niece, who actually goes to what do you call it, protect her daughter, which is Michael's granddaughter. So this is this is Michael's sister. This is Michael's niece. This is Michael's grandniece. So Michael's niece goes to fight Michael because the grandniece went after Michael by herself with her boyfriend, which was stupidly stupid. But I think it's very cliche. Some of those parts are like everyone knows you're gonna die, and then you're gonna do it anyway, and then they actually die, which is the best part. Like I wouldn't like it if they actually survive that. Like this guy. This guy is his grandniece's boyfriend, and he just obliterates him. And I think yeah, it's totally deserving because he went in following his dad, who thought he can take on Michael Myers by himself. Absolute mad lad, died in a few seconds. Hilarious. But yeah, the intensity of the killings is pretty cool. The music is pretty nice. Very brain dead sort of plot line. But I guess that's what you can expect from a Halloween film. Regardless, it's not over because Michael is not fully defeated. He remains, what do you call this, at large, and I believe there's going to be a sequel that will definitely star what do you call this, Michael returning for an even more menacing role. We actually get glimpses of Michael without his mask, but it's very brief. Probably someone can highlight it, but I think most of us would have seen the actor by now. So I think based on the atmosphere, the music, the storytelling, and stuff like that, let me just pull up a rating for you here. I think I can fairly give this another 3 out of 10. It's just one of those films that's, probably not going to be taken seriously, going to be forgotten, and already has better prequels. And I really don't understand making a sequel if you can't make it as good as the previous one. I know it's difficult to repeat the magic, but if you have a formula that works, I think you should stick to it. And this film tried to overdo certain things, try to create some kind of subplot that really carried no magical purpose because the mob didn't really intelligently gang up against what do you call this, Michael Myers, because even if they figured out that, oh, Myers is driving us crazy, we should actually team up and fight him, they're still idiots. They still don't know how to take on Michael Myers because he's literally bulletproof. Oh, this is interesting. I never knew they had this. Yeah, he's literally bulletproof. He can take on bullets like nobody's business. Seriously, he doesn't get harmed by it, which is pretty impressive. I'm not sure if he actually wears a vest under that insane-looking mechanic. What do you call this? Uh, what do you call his clothing, right? He wears like some kind of plumber or mechanic's clothing, is what it looks like. It's like a jumpsuit like that. Yeah, this thing, he wears this, right? It's like a one-piece mechanic clothing. But yeah, they somehow just can't bring him down with just bullets. And I think people can't get any stupider than this film, and the cliche is just too painful to watch again and again and again, and it gets a little bit cringy. And honestly, I think 2007's Halloween is probably the best of this particular version of the franchise. So let me see whether we can find it. 2007. There we go. This one, right? Is this the one? This has to be the one, right? Yeah, I think this is. Yeah, this is definitely the one. This little piece of shit. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is definitely the best Halloween. One of my more favorite versions of Halloween. I think in the earlier, what do you call this? Like prior to this remake, there was also a pretty good one where the doctors actually try to fight him and whatever. But this one's pretty good. It really has a good backstory to Michael building up his childhood, the killings he started with, and this is what we are watching today. But it's just not as good as this particular one. So this one got rated 6.1 actually on IMDb. Let's check what this most recent one actually got rated. Wait, hang on. Let's see if I can go back to the previous one. 5.7. Yeah, okay. I think people understand that this is just not as good as the previous one. But for me, I would rate it a 3 out of 10. It's just nowhere near as good, and definitely not a very good film. If you ask me what I would rate the previous Halloween, I think it'd probably be a 6 out of 10. Fair to say, because it's not gonna win any movie awards. I mean, quite frankly, but it's a really fun movie. It's really cool. It's a very straightforward killing movie, and I think this movie just tried to do too many things at once and not really nail any plots. So yeah, that's about it from me. If you guys haven't watched it and you guys are interested, you can definitely check it out. But if you ask me, if you haven't watched 2007's Halloween, I suggest you to check that out instead. And if you haven't watched it in a long time, it's definitely worth a rewatch and definitely a Halloween movie for sure. So yeah, take care, guys. Happy Halloween. See you all in the next one.